has been approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Outcasted OC podcast. We are here, the four of us, as always, and this week we are here to talk about our afterthoughts of Elimination Chamber going forward into the road of Wrestlemania. So, how is everybody feeling this week?
Meh.
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's my birthday tomorrow. It's the 29th of February. It only comes around every 4 years, about the same amount of time it takes for me and Ross to agree on something.
Oh my God, we've got a podcast on the 29th of February. That's mad. I didn't even realise that.
Love that. That's so good. I love how you guys just can't let this beef go that you suddenly have.
What beef have they
just live in blissful harmony, please?
No. See, because it's a leap year, we have to re-bring the rivalry back, like how they bring The Rock or Stone Cold back every big, spectacular every few years. It's mine and Reese's beef this time.
This generation, Cena versus Orton.
If everybody that is watching wants to wish Reese an early happy birthday in the comments, go ahead. We would love that. Anyway, moving into what was Elimination Chamber, has been one weekend. It's nearly been a week.
Coming up.
Been a week, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's nearly been a week.
Nearly been a whole. It goes so fast, doesn't it?
I know. All right, man.
Madness. Courtney, do you want to give us a little insight into your time at Elimination Chamber before we jump into the matches?
Well, I went into Optus Stadium and I sat in a seat for 3 hours and I didn't want to leave. Let's just say that.
That's exactly how it goes.
This is the type of hard-hitting journalism you come here for, guys.
Yeah.
I went into a show. I watched the show. I didn't want the show to end.
And then I left.
And then
I left. And then I cried.
Courtney, please tell me an inside scoop as to how Elimination Chamber was. It was good. Okay, then. Amazing.
It's alright. No, it was very good. I very much enjoyed it. I went in with a very open mind, not really expecting a lot, because I feel like we four, but also wrestling fans, have figured out if you have high expectations, you are very much prone to letting yourself down if they don't come true. So I went in with very open expectations, and I was very much blown away by what had happened. So that's the best way to be as a wrestling fan. Just let it happen. You don't need to know everything that's going on all the time. I had turned my Twitter notifications off too, so I didn't have any spoilers coming through, because if Sean Rossap ever live tweets at an event, I'm like, but I'm at the event. I don't need to know what you think just happened, because I just saw it happen.
We had that when we went Money in the Bank, because they aired it later for all the Americans. Sean Rossap was tweeting about it and stuff, and we were just like, we knew about that an hour ago.
You know, it's funny. It's funny to be on the flip side of that now. And
yeah,
how the terms tables, eh?
Literally.
It's like, this is what it must feel like for you. Oh, interesting.
What was it like interacting with fans and stuff? Because obviously, for the people that watched, if they follow your TikTok, we saw that you spoke with people and asked them questions. How was that kind of
I was gonna ask you about that, because I could never walk up to someone and just be like, "Hey, record this."
Neither can I. But it was something that I had been thinking about doing when I was there. I was like, I haven't seen that kind of style prediction video for an event, and I had it in my notes tab, because that's where I always record all my fantastic ideas, is up there for content. And I was like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm like, I don't care if people think I'm weird. I'm just going to do it. And a couple of people did follow me, which made it easier, because then I was talking to them about it, and I was like, well, I'm actually about to film a video. Do you want to be in it?
That's a good way of doing it.
In terms of people recognizing me, it was a very foreign feeling, because I feel like when you put content out there, you don't really think about the impact that it has and the widespread effects that it has in terms of people actually being able to recognize you in person. Yeah, I think because I was at a wrestling centric event, it was going to happen at some point. And there's not to toot my own horn here, I'm just being straight up honest with you. I recognized 20 times.
Yeah.
And every single time I was
it happens like that. Yeah.
The first time it happened, I didn't really know what to do. And then the more it happened, I was like, okay, like this is kind of just like how you go about it. You said like quick chats and kind of just, I don't know. Yeah, it was weird. It was
The
a very
worst. I don't know if you had this, but I had this experience at like Clash and Money in the Bank. When somebody comes up to you and goes, "You're that girl from TikTok," and I'm like, "Well, you don't even know my name."
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I am. Like, you know, and then just like have a quick chat and whatever.
How
and
do you
obviously-
respond to that? You're that girl from TikTok. Well, there's lots of girls on TikTok. Which one do you mean?
They're like, yes, I am.
Yeah,
Yes,
I get what you mean. It was, yeah, like I said, a foreign feeling at first, but obviously people are just recognizing you because you talk wrestling, we're at a wrestling event kind of thing, so quick chats and whatnot, but it's super cool to like chat to people. I don't know, and it was just a nice refreshing feeling to already have the conversation of wrestling be something that we can start with talking wise instead of when you meet somebody you got to kind of get to know them, whereas if you both have that common thing that you like, which is wrestling, it makes it very easy to start conversations, and it's quite cool.
100%.
So
You came across
super
really well in that video, to be fair. So well done. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
WWE,
watching.
please hire me. I would like to, you know, not have to go to my full-time job again.
You can be the new Kathy
WWE,
Kelly.
to hire her, you have to hire me because we come as a package.
You can be the new Kathy Kelly. You can be Kathy Courtney.
Was that a
Kathy
hint?
Courtney.
You know what's actually so funny is when I was waiting in line to get into the stadium, someone walked in with a sign that says, "I'm a Kathy Kelly guy."
Oh,
And I was like, "Good
Oh.
on you." I'm like, "Good
Nice.
on you." I mean, I'm a
Fair
Kathy
play.
Kelly guy too, so
Me
I mean,
too.
yeah.
Here's a question before we get into the matches. Coming from like a crowd perspective, was there any like immense reactions that you didn't expect, or was there any people who got cheered, or like was there anything in particular that got over that you didn't think was?
I
going
didn't
to?
expect the Tiffy time chants.
Mm.
Oh,
And
that
now
was
that we've
incredible
got them,
to
I
hear,
don't want
yeah.
to lose them. Everybody was
Mhm.
going nuts for Tiffany Stratton, and rightfully so. I
I'd
mean,
love to
they
see it.
even were going crazy for her in the men's match. They literally were doing Tiffy time chants during the men's match. And I was like, whoa,
I
you
love
want her to join this real quick and get RKO'd by Randy Orton? Awesome. I'm down for that. Who else? Grayson,
Swan Tom's Logan.
obviously, because he's an Australian hometown hero, he obviously got a really good response too.
Yeah.
People,
I like what they did there.
people in the crowd were literally singing the lyrics to Cody's theme song. Like, you don't even need lyrics anymore. Just play the instrumental background music and we'll do the rest. Like, it was very
Nice.
much like that.
Was there anyone just around you, like, kind of going, go from home? Whoa! Just, like, knowing, like, the last three words.
someone two seats next to me, and this might be down to Renee, her influence on TikTok, but someone saying something Cody Rhodes, and I was like,
That's
good
all we need.
on you. I'm like,
That's
you
all
know
we
what's
need.
up.
Well,
That's
I
yeah,
did
like,
that.
awesome.
I actually looked at him. I kid you not, I looked at him and I shook his hand and I'm like, well done. Like, because I knew exactly what he was doing. I was like, good on you.
I do that every time we've like
Mhm.
gone to a pay-per-view and Cody's there. I've literally stood next to G, and while everyone else is doing the normal singing, I will do the something Cody Rhodes. I do that
at home. Then I was obviously in the crowd. I was like, I probably should
Oh
do
my
that
God.
lyrics.
When we go to the live event in April, I'm going to get me and Alice to do a something Cody Rhodes song.
Do it.
nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many
other
funny
thing
chants as well.
The only other thing I was going to ask, because obviously you got to live experience this and it was a complete black screen for us. How did you feel everyone giving the middle finger to Dom at the front row for a whole 10 minutes?
It blacked out on the network.
Yeah, it completely, because of how many people flipped him off, the network literally panic censored it for us.
Mm-hmm.
It was so stupid. I mean, it's a live event, dude. Like, why are you gonna censor it? Like,
And it's a premium event. We've paid for
Yeah.
it. Like, don't black out the screen just because someone hit a middle finger. Sorry, wasn't it back in the 90s? Stone Cold were throwing middle fingers every other 10 minutes.
It's literally what started the fight with him and Tyson. Like,
Yeah. I actually had no idea until I got home that it had been blacked out and censored because I could still see everything. I was like, how good?
There was a part in the men's as well where Logan flipped someone off that it blacked out as well.
Oh, man. Gotta stop doing that, guys. We're not going to get events like this ever again if you keep doing that. There was some really good Dominic Mysterio chants in the crowd as well. Too.
We heard.
People were calling him adopted. People were calling him a wanker. Like, it was so funny.
Oh, we definitely heard the wanker one. That was very loud.
I sent it to you guys too.
Yeah.
It's so good. So
but we
funny.
heard it via the network as well. Like I was thinking they were gonna mute it on the network. No, they let that play, and I was
They
like,
muted
"That's
it. Do you remember when everybody was calling Roman that Money in the Bank? If you go back and watch that, it is like
our Money in the Bank." Yeah, it was muted,
it's
but
like
Australia's
muted.
one they didn't
It's
mute
like
it.
really, it's like overpowered with something else.
But yeah, no, it was very funny. Good chance. Really enjoyed it. I don't know,
Yeah.
just being in a stadium with that many people who I obviously like rocking with the same people that I am was very funny. It was very good. It felt
I did
like I was
hear,
at home.
I did see some things online after where people were saying that the portrayal of the chants and the loudness of the crowd wasn't that great on the network. But then I think me and Reese both said, I wish you might have said this as well, that it was obviously it was an open top stadium, so everything goes up.
When I said that
Yeah.
in my review that I posted yesterday, when there's a lot of sound, it goes up if there's no roof to contain it. So obviously it's going to sound quieter than it actually was.
Yeah,
But,
whereas you've got a roof stadium, everything echoes off each other.
yeah.
So
Whereas we
I
were,
mean,
we
it's
were
a
singing out little
combination of
lungs.
that. It's a combination of that, and also we experienced something similar at Clash where it wasn't an open top stadium, but on the network anyway, when you go back and watch it, it doesn't seem as loud as it actually was in person.
Yeah.
Like in
No,
person,
it was like
that place was
100%
shaking.
louder. Yeah.
if you listen to Edge's entrance at Clash at the Castle off the network and then listen to the recording I've got of it, it sounds like two completely different places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand why people would make that assumption. Obviously, most people might not know that Optus Stadium was open top, so that definitely didn't work in its favor in terms of being able to contain that sound. And I definitely think that also is what was the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of what I'm trying to say right now. I definitely think having Backlash where Bad Bunny got that massive response and it was in a closed stadium and it was so incredibly loud. I definitely think people hold that standard to every single international show now. And I think that's great that you want every show to be that loud, but it also hinders every other show and its identity as well, because if it doesn't meet those expectations that you have, your first response is going to be, oh, well, it wasn't as loud as Backlash in Puerto Rico when Bad Bunny got his response. Like, I'm sorry, not everybody's going to be like that, but you should also just be grateful that, like, hometown heroes are getting their moment. Like, for Rhea Ripley especially, like, that moment was amazing for her. And I think
so sick.
People too much, they hyper-focus too much on the negatives when we should really be focusing on the positives. And obviously I'll get into that when we start talking about the show, but yeah.
I just want to say before we get into the matches, like there was something that I kept saying in the chat, and I thought it was amazing. Like that sunset, like if you
it was so sick.
It was beautiful.
It was
like
so
you kept,
cool.
like, I think it was in the middle of like the tag team match. Like you looked up and the sun was just setting, and it was a beautiful like, orange sky, and I was like, that is gorgeous.
Nice.
I loved what I also loved was when it got to the men's elimination chamber. This was where the sun was literally just about to finish setting. You could see the sun reflection shadowing like Drew. And Drew's just stood there menacingly over LA Knight, and you've got the shadow over him.
It's like an angel.
No, it just made him look even more badass. I was like, this looks sick, like cinema style.
Do you know I still haven't gone back and watched it yet?
Oh, you need to.
I'm going to today. I didn't have time yesterday, but I'm going to today after this.
Another thing I spotted as well when they kept panning around the arena, that bridge outside the arena is absolutely stunning.
Oh, yeah.
You can zip line off it.
It's stunning. It's so nice.
You can zip line off it. Yo, that's a plan. I'll do that.
It's down to Perth just to zip line off the bridge.
Yep.
And then go home again. I came, I zip line, I went home.
I came, I saw, I conquered, and then just went home.
More hard-hitting journalism from Outcasted. Right, let's get into the matches.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hold
on. Let's go.
I know what she said.
Okay, right. So I'm just going to go in match order. I've got some notable things about each match wrote down, but we'll just I'm not going to go around you all. We'll just talk about the match and people can put their input.
Yeah.
So first match was the kickoff pre-show match, which was Indus. I'm putting their names together now.
I was going to say Indus Shear.
So did I.
Indus Nuts.
Don't hinder gender in Perth, baby.
Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae versus the Kabuki Warriors for the women's tag belt. The Kabuki Warriors retained this match. Indy had her moment. It was a great match overall. It was a good match to get the crowd hyped and ready for the show.
Especially with a hometown hero as well. I think that was kind of why they did it. It was like, oh, let's give the crowd something we haven't gave them in ages with a pre-show. Let's give it to someone who, you know, is representation of Australia and everything. I liked it. I thought it was a very good, solid match. I like how Indy got the hot tag, and as soon as she was hot tagged, like the arena lit up. But for me, yeah, I was saying I could easily see Kabuki Warriors still retaining. It was just a quick like highlight match.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was very much a foregone conclusion that Kabuki Warriors would retain. And I really enjoyed Indy's gear, how it was Australian inspired. And I don't know if you guys caught on, but Candice LeRae's gear was actually inspired by a character from Bluey, which is actually that cartoon, which is like it's an Australian cartoon. So
it's
a lot of
because
people.
It's Quill's it's their kid Quill's favorite TV series.
We are
Johnny
very
Gargano
familiar
did
with
Bluey,
Bluey.
the last pay-per-view he was on.
Yeah,
That's dope.
which is cool. So I feel like if they can, I don't know, it must have been a cool moment for her to know that she would have been able to do that in Australia to like not only pay homage to that, but like also represent her family and everything. So
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Exactly what you said, really. I'm glad they was able to get her on the show. I do think, in my opinion, I mean, it was a 4-match card. They could have just put this on the main show, or tried to get Indy in the chamber somehow. I don't know. Like,
I agree on that, but I think this is my whole argument. I'm happy pre-show matches are back because I don't like just sitting around and hearing people talk for an hour solid when especially when it's American time zone for us.
Buckle up, because WrestleMania's is 2 hours long.
No, I know, but like this is my argument. Having a pre-show like match for me breaks up that monotonous. Oh, let's just talk our company predictions of we're the commentary guys. Let's just talk about the history in that. I know why they do it. It's obviously for the people who haven't been keeping up with the weekly show and just want to get into a pay-per-view.
The other reason they do it is because the pre-shows are free to watch. If you watch the pre-show and then go, oh, actually, I might purchase this quickly.
Because I'm interested in what they've now explained to me. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I like seeing the matches. I'd rather have pre-show matches than none. But yeah, I do get what you mean. The card was a bit smaller. There could have been time. The studio, I'm pretty sure the stadium could have been open for like another hour or two, and they could have put more matches on the card. But at the same time, you don't want to overflow it.
What time did it finish? Your time, Courtney?
This is a great question. It must have been like just after 9:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they could easily have. Yeah. Most stadiums
sat in the stadium until about half 2 in the morning. Like, she didn't leave.
I was a little bit upset because I actually forgot that I wanted to make a video whilst the stadium was leaving because I just wanted to go home. I was tired, and then I got back and I forgot that I had an idea that I was going to get Chris to film it and be like, Courtney, we've got to go. The show's over, and I was going to be like, no, but Edge hasn't come out yet. But I forgot to do that clearly because I was preoccupied wanting to go home. So. But yeah, they definitely held it open for longer. So
yeah. But like, I think it's one of them. It's like take or leave. Pre-show matches need to happen, so I'm glad it did happen. But I do agree with what you said there, Reese. Like it could have gone on the main card as well. Could have snuck it in.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about a 4-match card. Like it was nice to have that. It doesn't.
I know a lot of people online were complaining about the 4-match card, and I don't get why. Like
quality over quantity.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Like, I mean, if you ever watched NXT Takeover, like for the past, like before 2021, you would know that it was never over 5 matches. Like it was just a 5-match card.
Every
and
match
those 5
served
matches were bangers.
Yeah, and your main event was like a 60-minute fucking absolute manic match between 2 incredible talents. Especially Black and Gold era was huge on that, where you would have like your Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole for the like main belt, and it was like 60 minutes.
Elimination Chamber needed that kind of vibe because like you had 2 chamber matches, which
exactly.
Really
that's what I was also gonna say. Is like I don't get why people moaned about like a 4-match card when. By the way, 2 of your matches you had were basically near enough an hour-long chamber match. Like,
yeah, exactly.
like quantity over quality doesn't always work. Like I'd rather have quality, incredible matches. Like 100%,
It's why I'm glad
and that's
WrestleMania
what
is.
they were.
It's why I'm glad WrestleMania is a 2-night event nowadays.
Yes.
Just because.
Yes.
Oh god, the one where Becky won the 2 belts. That WrestleMania was a
The
slog to
7.5
get
hour.
through.
You mean the like
Oh.
That was
7.5
a slog, my
hour?
guy. That was so hard to get through.
Dude, it started at
That
about
was my first
12.
WrestleMania as well.
It started at midnight for us, and it ended at like 5 in the morning, and it was just like,
6
oh
in
my
the-
god,
It was actually 6 in the morning.
Jesus!
Yeah, but you
Christ.
wouldn't have
I
known
re-
the difference because it felt that long anyway.
The
Well, you
reason
could tell
that
the crowd felt like that as well, though. The crowd would definitely like that because, like, I felt the way the crowd felt, and I was
Yeah.
just like, no, like, and so
the only reason I know that it finished at 6 o'clock in the morning is because I watched it when I was at uni with my uni mates.
I was drunk.
And I across the road from us, we had a lorry driver who his shift started at 6 o'clock every morning. As I walked into my bedroom, because I've got like where my bedroom was, it was an open front onto the road. I saw him getting into his car to start work, and literally, you just heard the words come out of my mouth, going, "Fuck, is that the time?" Like,
yeah.
I felt
Dude.
exhausted.
So whenever I see a card like this nowadays, I'm like, yeah, I'm happy, I'm fine, I don't care.
4 matches, give me that. I can watch very easily. Like,
Yeah.
it's one thing AEW needs to really learn from is stop doing very, very long pay-per-view. Like, I love them, don't get me wrong. I love the matches you do on them, but please, I'm begging
Really
you.
getting
There are only
here.
there are so many Sundays I could stay awake for that long. So having 4 matches on a card is perfect.
Right, Reese, finish what you're gonna say.
No, that was adding to it.
That was what I was gonna say. That was it. I had nothing else to say. Like rock.
Okay, then let's move on then. So, opening show was a great thing. So the first match we had of the night was the Women's Elimination Chamber, which was Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Naomi, and Raquel Rodriguez. We had Naomi and Becky start. Becky did in fact win, so she will be going to WrestleMania against Rhea Ripley.
The right choice, as we have been saying this whole time, ladies and gentlemen. The right choice.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say anymore.
And our first to be eliminated was Naomi.
I'm not happy about that.
This was the most shocking part of the night for me. Like, not just the match of the night. The fact that Naomi got eliminated first, I thought it was really strange, and like the way she did get eliminated as well. I honestly thought in this match that Naomi was going to be in the final 3. I also think she should have been. I think she should have been in the final 3. I think it should have been her. I think it should have been her, Becky Lynch, and maybe Raquel in the final 3. Don't know why Liv was in the final 3, to be honest, but like I think that place should have been taken by Naomi. Like, I mean, she's only just come back. You try to make an impact with her. Put her in the final 3.
Get out of my brain!
I live in there rent-free, bitch. That's a good clip. Gotta get that one, Courtney.
Yeah.
But she
did
well while she was in there. But like, sorry, go on, Ross.
No, I 100% agree. Like as you said with Naomi there, I don't get how you make her have this incredible stellar run in the Royal Rumble, make her last so fucking long in that Rumble. So, oh, by the way, you're in the chamber, so you have another chance to get to WrestleMania, but you're going out first, even though you were one of the last to last in the Rumble. Like, bruh.
I'm interested who she's going to be facing at Mania, if she's going to have a match, Naomi.
I think she's good.
This is not bashing. This is just my order of how I would have had people gone out. I think Liv and Raquel should have had their beef to open. I think they should have opened the chamber. And then Liv should have got out very early on. I think Raquel would have powerhoused against Naomi and Tiff, making that very difficult. Becky gets the upper hand on Raquel, gets Raquel out. So then we've got a better scenario of what, as you said there, for me, I'd personally have loved to see Naomi, Tiffany, and Becky be the final 3 that were in that ring.
I think the match was stacked. Honestly, it is.
Oh yeah, no way.
It was match of the night for me. It was my favorite match, and not just because there were 6 incredible women in that match. Yes, Liv Morgan is an incredible woman. I'm not hating on her. She just needs some work.
It's just a gimmick. The gimmick doesn't make sense. Make it make sense.
We're not getting into the Liv Morgan talk now. I'm not doing this again ever again. But anyway, it makes it hard.
I'm not doing it ever again either. I can't do it anymore.
I'm here for it every day.
In a match, it makes it hard to decide which one to bring out first.
Yeah,
it really does.
No, I 100% agree on that. But like for me, the writing was on the wall there of Liv and Raquel have been away for so long. You could have really played into that moment of them in the ring together, opening the chamber, and they have a stare down being like, well, we used to be a tag team. Do we work together or do we fight each other? Because they only did that for like 30 seconds when Raquel finally got out of the chamber. And I was like, well, that was a wasted spot because you could have really story told in that ring with that.
Could have played into that a lot more.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, as much as Becky is the star of this match, let's talk about the real star, Tiffany Stratton.
Oh,
MVP.
MVP
for real.
Carried that match the entire time she was in it.
Yeah.
That jump off the pod, I can't believe she literally got eliminated straight after doing that.
That pissed me off. That did.
She do you know she's actually taken CM Punk's title? Because when she goes like this means that she's going to sleep now.
Yeah.
She did that on the top of the pod, and when she was doing it, I couldn't hear people saying Tiffy time. I'm like, oh, she's going to sleep. Nice, good on. But yeah, I think we called it. She was going to do a swanton bomb off the top of the pod.
Yeah, I literally said
we called
it. I said either do the swanton or prettiest moonsault off the top. Just do it, and she did.
The swanton is beautiful though. Like
also, can we talk about the Naomi spot of that like half climb up leg drop she did?
Oh yeah, the split thing. Damn, yeah.
How did that not shatter your knee? I'm sorry, that looked painful as fuck.
Forget that. How did that not shatter something else? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's her. Like,
honestly,
Jesus.
like that landing was gnarly, dude.
Yeah. Definitely think Tiffany was the star of that show overall. And I'm very, very, very excited to see where she goes forward because she definitely had the crowd over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm excited that she got her moment. And I'm glad that the mainstream audience outside of NXT are aware of who Tiffy is. I like the fact that she got a 50 minutes of the swanton off the top of the chamber. I thought that was incredible. I like the fact that she was given space to breathe in the match, where she got a lot of offense in, and she wasn't just there like to be eliminated by like a Raquel, like to show how dominant she is.
Yeah, like power bodied. Yeah.
To be fair to Tiffany, like you got to keep in mind as well, for someone who's only been wrestling for less than 5 years, the fact that she was able to work so seamlessly and so smoothly with 5 other women in that match that she's never been in before, by the way. I think she did an incredible job. So fair play to Tiffany.
Definitely.
I think that comes down to a couple of things. First and foremost, I think that just comes down to her natural athletic ability and her talent. And I just think they need to strap a rocket to her as soon as possible, because we've only seen the tippy top of that iceberg. She's got so much that she can do in the next. I think she's going to be a champion within the next 5 years. But also, I actually think that is a testament to the WWE Performance Center being able to take in people who have never wrestled before or have very limited wrestling experience and help develop their character, their promo ability, their gimmick, and overall their in-ring talent. I definitely think she is a fantastic testament to the Performance Center. Like
a few things that I'm really looking forward to. Tiffany versus Charlotte, Tiffany versus Jade, Tiffany versus Bianca. There's some good matches coming from that girl.
Yeah, well, Tiffany versus Charlotte's actually a dream match that Tiffany has.
Yeah.
So,
well, a perfect one's now set up as well. Like from the chamber, we had a perfect one now line itself up. Tiffany versus Naomi. Give me that in a heartbeat. That'll be an incredible match.
I would like to see Tiffany versus Naomi. I have a feeling we're probably going to be seeing, which I think would be cool. I think at WrestleMania, I think we should have Tiffany versus Bianca if they're not going to push Jade at the moment.
Oh hell yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I would also suggest that she's on SmackDown, so eventually we're probably going to be seeing Tiffany versus Bayley for the women's title, which would be dope.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's going to be winning the title in a first.
Would be cool to see though. Would
This
be
would
cool
be
to
a
see.
great-
I mean,
time
well,
for
this is it. Like, there's always a situation here where like you don't want to push someone too fast because then what have they got to go for? What? But in a first go around, maybe she doesn't win the title, but it'd be nice to see her go against someone like Bailey, like a new face of Bailey. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah,
like you say with Charlotte coming back in September, I think she's got a fresh feud to go out there if that's what they want to do. You're literally talking about I've been saying this since she debuted in NXT and when she started perfecting a craft while she was down there. I've been saying for a while that Tiffany is this generation Charlotte. Like she's just got the athleticism, she's got the look, she has got like just the natural charisma. Like she is this generation Charlotte, and it'd be really cool to see her versus Charlotte.
She's also
not everything. Sorry, I was going to say like not everything that Charlotte does has to be like for the women's championship.
No.
And I've been saying I've never had a problem with Charlotte. The problem is with me is her booking, and it's always the fact that her gimmick is literally I'm going to take your title. I don't think that needs to be the case. Like I'm not being funny. I know you try to beat Ric Flair's record with Charlotte, but you've got plenty of time to do it with it. And like there's a time and a place, and I think that at the moment it'd be cool if you decided to take it into a different direction. Maybe she works with people outside of the championship picture, and one of those people would be great is Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, I agree. I feel as though like if you had solidified yourself as one of the top champions within WWE in the women's division, you've solidified yourself as one of the top women within the company. You do not always need to feel as though you need to prove yourself being a part of the title picture to still hold that title of being one of the greats. I've seen less people complain about Charlotte Flair always being inserted into the title picture, and I have seen more complaints about Becky always being inserted into the title picture. But I'm sorry, the last time she was women's champion was at WrestleMania 38. We're approaching WrestleMania 40. Now, yes, I am aware she was a champion last year 2 times. That was a tag champ, and she was the NXT champion. She hasn't been a main roster champion for 2 years now, and I just get really frustrated when people complain and they always say, well, they're not giving people opportunities because Becky's always in the title picture. She's not. She can also have great matches with people outside of the title picture anyway.
So
but I
that
definitely
whole thing with Tiffany with Trish Stratus. Yeah. That was no title.
We can also explain this though as well. There's no guarantee Becky even wins at this WrestleMania. Yes, she's in the top.
She will.
But seriously, like
no, but this is
she
what I was trying to
she doesn't need to win to still be considered one of the greats.
Yeah.
This is what I was gonna say. Like her doing this can do this whole. You know, Becky had that whole slump trying to rebuild herself, not knowing who she was, not knowing who the man was anymore, trying to find that encouragement. We can easily go back to that storyline again where Rhea shatters the expectation of everyone thinking Becky's going to be the one to do it. Becky loses. Becky has to reinvigorate herself, find herself again, and she'll fight people that aren't in the title picture because she'll be like, well, I need to relearn and climb the mountain again. So I've got to climb back through all these other girls that also are trying to climb that mountain. It's easily done.
I agree with Ross. I think it'd be more interesting if Becky, you can tell it's the 29th of February because I've agreed with him. I think it'd be more interesting if she didn't win. And maybe I can't believe I'm saying this. We get a Cody Rhodes kind of storyline where she doesn't win this year, maybe comes back against Rhea next year. I wouldn't mind Rhea holding the title for another year.
Has come around. What do you want to talk about?
Oh my god, no.
Well, not that, but like reestablishes herself. But I was also going to state this as well. We were kind of going in on about how like Tiffany being, that first time champion coming in, we don't really want to give her a belt straight away.
No.
I'm kind of the opposite. I think she could do it. I think she could very much sit comfortably as a new champion and be that kind of unique heel she started being with her NXT title run of being like, I'm going to make all the other girls fight for my opportunity because I'm better than them.
Yeah.
I agree. Like the only reason I'm saying no is just because I don't want to take the legs out from Bailey's new face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, what I'm saying is obviously make Tiffy a very late contender into Bailey's run. What I'm saying is when Tiffy does go up to have a title opportunity, I would be more than okay with her being that, one-time opportunity, one-time winner. Very much like how going back to how Paige was back very, very early on. first opportunity she got at a belt, which was like a throwaway opportunity. She got it. I think Tiffany could be one of those shock characters where it's like, oh, they're not going to give it Tiffany. She's worked hard. She's done great, but they're not going to give it her on her first ever opportunity at the belt. So then, boom, it happens. It would shock everyone, and it would be like, cool, I'm invested in to see how Tiffany handles the championship. Because
I think
a lot of the main roster, we've never seen her NXT run as well. That's what we've also got to put out there.
Boo.
I think the only problem with that in my mind is that I definitely think it would create unrealistic expectations for her and what she can do, but also a lot of people would be watching her with a super fine magnifying glass to pick out every single little flaw instead of actually embracing the fact that she's won a main roster championship for the first time in her
but that's
career.
what everyone's doing now. Every single person who's getting a title opportunity, every single time
everyone thinks they can have an opinion on something. I just don't want that for Tiffany.
Just before we move on from the women's chamber match, I do want to give a shout out to Raquel Rodriguez. I actually really enjoy Raquel. Until she got injured, she was one of my favorites to win the Rumble, and it was really nice to see her back in the ring for the chamber match. I think she did really well.
Also, especially the fact of with what she's been going through with the skin condition, seeing that she went into such the environment of an elimination chamber in the hot condition that she was. She literally stated it was very weird and uncomfortable for her to wrestle without makeup, because it's one of the things she enjoyed, getting to be part of the girls, being all glammed up and everything like that is all a part about being a WWE
It's all a part about being a part of the women's division. Yeah.
But honestly, she looked great. I thought the gear looked sick. I thought her just being naturally her was really enjoyable to watch, and I was like, I'd like to see more of that from Raquel.
We need to see more people like that embrace that kind of thing. Like, I know and I understand that like makeup is a massive part of your character. I completely get it. But for her to be going through something as traumatic and as sad as that, and actually be like, no, I am going to reclaim my power. There's such, I don't know, like to me, there's something so much more powerful about someone who takes the crap that happens to them and actually makes good out of it. She could have easily said, nah, I'm not going to show up. She had a flare up when she was in Perth. She could go, nah, I'm not going to show up. Forget this. I'm going home. But this just actually proves not only to WWE, but to the fans and everything that she actually genuinely cares, and she's going to do whatever it takes to still do this. Like, I feel like people don't give Raquel enough flowers for what she does. People compare her to what she did in NXT, and they say, oh, we want NXT Raquel back, blah, blah, blah. But, like, for her to still want to perform for everybody who's shown up, not only in person, but actually watching at home and not disappoint her fans, we should be talking more about that and less about,
100%.
You know what I mean? People are hyper-fixating on the wrong thing, and I'm getting a bit sick of having to redirect people's focus to what's actually important.
I agree. She's one of my favorite on the women's roster, to be honest. I think she's one of those people at the moment, kind of like Nia Jax, but like with a bit more talent behind her. I always loved her NXT stuff from back in the day. Well, I'll say back in the day, it was a couple of years ago. But I love the combination, the fact that she can move fast, but she's also like a powerhouse who like can really throw a weight around in that ring. So I love Raquel. I think there's brighter things in 2024 on the horizon for her.
Definitely.
I know a lot of people will argue Raquel's gimmick doesn't really sit well with quite a few people because it's just that I'm a strong person, but it's like, yeah, but sometimes simplistic work, she makes it believable. Like I said this with Tiffany's thing as well. Hers is I'm a glamour person who's very athletic. They are very basic gimmicks when you look at it, but how they make it work, they sell themselves on the mic, they show it in the ring, and they make it all about them. Their gimmick is as soon as they're in that ring, it's switched on. And Raquel does that perfectly. I am this powerhouse and I'm going to show you I'm a powerhouse.
Well,
sometimes you don't need to overcomplicate things.
To the people who have a problem with her gimmick, the one thing I'll say to her is, do you like Braun Strowman? Do you like him? Well, she's literally Braun Strowman, but in the women's division. I don't get what the need to expand on that really is. She's just a really strong woman who can do really strong things. What's wrong with that? Nothing.
I will say, though, I'm really enjoying her character more on the main roster. Like, I know that she's a babyface now and she was a heel back in NXT, but I definitely actually think that there is a lot more depth to her being a babyface that we have not actually delved into yet.
Yeah.
You know? There is still more to come. But what we're seeing is not just everything she's going to give us. She's not just going to say, I'm not doing any more character work. I'm happy with what I'm doing. She's got plenty more to give. You just need the opportunity. And that's when, like I say, in 2024, I think she's going to have a great year this year. And I think we're definitely going to see more from Raquel, especially with that performance that she put on in the chamber match.
Especially if you follow from her NXT run anyway, because the end of her NXT run, she already started turning babyface because Dakota turning on her. And she was like, wow, I now have the crowd backing me because I was trying to be a rightful champion. I was trying to help my friend, and then my friend stabbed me in the back. So her staying as babyface going to the main roster makes sense because there's still sympathetic fans, and there's still fans that are like, no, I like Raquel being like I'm just going to fight for the people.
She's the people's champ, but not a champ yet.
The people's champ.
Right, I think we need to move on, guys, because we are 40 minutes into this podcast and we've still got 4 more things to talk about.
All right, speed run.
Right. With the next match, we could speed run because it was the Judgment Day versus New Catch Republic. In my eyes, it was a generic tag match, but it was a good match nonetheless.
Wait, whoa. Were your eyes closed? What do you mean a generic tag team match? It was fantastic.
Were you watching a different tag match?
She was watching the New Day versus Imperium. That's what.
For me, it was a generic tag match. Yes, all 4 put on fabulous match, fabulous performance, as they all do. We knew the Judgment Day were going to retain. That's why.
Did we though?
Yeah.
No, we didn't. That whole match made you genuinely believe multiple times New Catch were going to win it. You even said to me, sat next to me, I've got live evidence of this from your past live stream where you were like, oh my God, a New Catch actually going to do it. So don't start.
Where's your proof?
I will go back and pull up your live stream.
We need this next week for the receipts. We need to see the proof next week.
You need to come with it. You need to come with those receipts for us.
It was
I think California Republic did great in this match.
I
love
didn't know
Fallout.
who was going to win, but it was obvious Judgment Day.
Yeah, My Chemical Romance did a fantastic job in this.
I told you, man, it's the New California Republic.
No, it's New Catch.
NCR.
Yeah.
I wonder if Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne have ever played Fallout. I doubt it. They don't look like the type of people that play games.
I think Pete Dunne probably would have. I don't know about Tyler Bate, but
Oh, Tyler Bate.
Anyway.
Play Fallout, mate.
Right. All I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put it out here. One of the best tag matches I've seen in a damn long time. I thought pillar to pillar, absolute non-stop action that I thought was incredible. The synergy was straight away there. New Catch Republic already shown what British Strong Style is about, and it makes me damn happy to see we've got Catch Style and British Strong Style being represented so well in both of them. Getting to see the Burning Hammer come back out, like, come on. Like, what's not more to love? That the fact they're calling it Birmingham and calling it Birmingham Hammer. Like,
that's so funny.
That's fantastic wordplay.
It is. It's beautiful.
There's 2 things that I want to talk about in this match. First, shout out to Tyler Bate. I think this was a coming out party for both of these guys, but for 2 different reasons. I'm going to tell you why. Shout out to Tyler Bate for really showing like the main audience, like the main roster audience, like why he's such a talent in NXT. Why people are so hyped on Tyler Bate. I think this was really his coming out party. I do think like one of the highlights of the match is when he got Damian Priest on his shoulders for the airplane spin. Fair play to
and
him.
Just kept going and kept going.
I felt like it went for 30 minutes one person. I just kept seeing him go around, and I was just thinking, around.
It's got to be difficult. It's really got to be difficult to get a guy as tall as Damian Priest and get the momentum going there. And like because he's so heavy, like obviously, like you can tell Tyler Bate was genuinely like really dizzy when he put him down.
Yeah.
He's a big unit, that guy.
Second of all, I want to shout out to Pete Dunne. I think this was the most important match for Pete Dunne in terms of I really need to remind people who Pete Dunne is, like because obviously the whole point of this like change of character name kind of like how Max Dupree became LA Knight again. Like you needed to show the mainstream audience like why this name change? Why does this mean something different for his character? Why Pete Dunne is different than Butch? I think it was important for this to be shown just because, like, if this didn't work out, if this match wasn't a banger, then people wouldn't have cared about Pete Dunne. And the whole point of changing him from Butch to Pete Dunne was to make him more of an intense, make him more of a believable threat, like a believable threat on the main roster. So, like, shout out to both of the NCR for this. Also, Judgment Day putting on another great match. Shout out to Finn Balor for his thumb.
What happened to his thumb?
He snapped it.
He landed. Did you not see?
So when he did the coup de grace,
when he did his coup de grace,
his thumb went like that.
He literally landed on his thumb and the bone came out.
Yeah. So you know when you saw the blood, that was he was doing it, and he was showing. He was trying to realign the skin back into the bone. He was trying to like.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. He completely dislocated.
When you watch it back on the network, you'll see it. You'll see it happen.
But here's the thing. Like exactly. And I was just about to say, even if that happened halfway through the match, man would have still continued because this is the same guy who had a hammer, who had a ladder dropped on his head, got 16 stitches, and's like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna keep going." The man stop.
This is also the same guy who had his complete shoulder dislocated and beat Seth Rollins for the Universal title. Man works on an injury. He don't care.
Yeah, oh god, he's unbelievable.
Someone in the crowd was freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god, what's wrong with Finn's thumb?" And I'm like, "It'll be fine." I'm like, "It'll be right."
Oh god, it was like, I didn't even know how he did it, but when I saw him doing what he was doing, I was like, ugh.
It was literally so you know, as he jumps, he usually puts his hands here, so that way when he lands, he can smack the mat to make the sound, and also that way it's a cushion for anyone when he lands. If he slips wrong doing the stomp, he cushions himself. His thumbs, he bent them last second like that, and because he slipped as he hit Tyler Bate on the cell, his thumb hit the floor, and that's how he did it. Which can happen, like whenever you take a bump like that and you go to sell, you can.
That is insane, dude. Like, shout out to Finn. And also not to count out like what was going on in the outside of the ring as well. Like,
I was gonna say, let's also like big shout out to Damien. I thought the when Tyler went to do the flip off the side and Damien was like, nope, caught him mid-air, threw him onto the announce table. I was like, right. I'm sold on this whole match. This is dope. Then all we see out of nowhere is Pete Dunne being like, "Oh, you want to hurt Tyler like that? No, cool." Flips over, hits Finn. I'm like, this is crazy.
I think when it comes to the tag match, I think the thing for me that I think the reason why people weren't so happy with it, maybe it's because it did come straight after that fantastic women's chamber match, and I think. Like, it's great to want to have one of your best matches as your first match. It really sets the tone. But then it also creates an unrealistic expectation with fans that every single match needs to be at that level. And if it doesn't get there, then they're like, it was crap. It was bad, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But it actually was like a solid tag match, as you said, you know?
I think in terms of what was going on, like I say, on the outside of the ring as well, like with Perth like getting all over Dom, which was hilarious. Where the screen blacked out because everyone was giving him the middle finger. Like, but I think like, combined with Dom and the actual match itself, and I said this like on the predictions podcast, like I thought it was going to be match of the night, and for me it was. I thought it was match of the night.
Same for me. It was match of the night for me.
Like the women's, I think we said outside of the chamber matches. Very close second, the women's chamber. I thought this was match of the night.
Women's chamber for me would be match of the night if New Catch Republic didn't come out the way they did and absolutely do everything I love about catch style wrestling. Like for me, it is a bit of biased because that is my favorite style of wrestling, and just getting to see it on such a big pay-per-view stage, like, was just great to see it back again. And I really hope Triple H doesn't now be like, "Oh, we've done you for one match. Let's just forget about it now."
I don't think he will. I think he'll split the tag titles after Mania. But my final thought on this, like, and then obviously I'll just let you guys talk about it. My final thought on this match is, for me, this was the final nail in the coffin for Death Rebel. Like, I'm so sick of the generic theme songs, dude. Like,
Yeah.
the only reason that you know who are coming out is because at the start of every single theme song they've ever made is, oh, we're going to say our name so you know who we are. Like, that doesn't make a good theme song. None of them are memorable. The only reason you know who the person is because the person says his name.
Yeah.
After that, every single theme song sounds exactly the same. And as soon as I heard the NCR's one, I was like, this is terrible. Like, it's awful.
NCR's was just trying to mix Tyler Bates with Pete Dunne's original, and I'm like, it doesn't work. They are
I
very
even said to you guys in the group when it was happening, I was like, why the fuck do they have a new theme song? This is so shit.
Walk out to Bruiserweight. Just walk out to the original Bruiserweight.
Yeah, exactly. That's just my final thought. Get CFOS back.
Here's one thing I will say about Def Rebel super quickly is and we pointed this out when it came to the Rumble, and it's even more evident now. It is a huge problem when you enter an event like the Royal Rumble, or if you're debuting a brand new tag team theme song, especially Royal Rumble specifically, and people don't know who it is because they all sound the exact same. And the only reason you can tell them apart is when they need to shout the name. I can't even example of this as well as DIY's theme song. Like, come on.
Yeah. I can't even understand what Naomi says in her own theme song anymore. I can't even hear it. I don't know what she says, but it just sounds because of the
same lyrics as the TNA one.
But because of the mixing on the song, like I can't. I mean, like fair play, all right then. But I can't understand what it says. Like just because of the mixing on the song, it just sounds like someone is screaming down the microphone while there's a beat in the background. But like that doesn't work well with the rest of the music that we've got in WWE.
Someone be out here giving Def Rebel false hope, and I'm so fucking sick of it. Like, just tell the guy it's crap and move on.
Well, I was going to say the perfect example of how you know Def Rebel are fucking up majorly is Seth Rollins, your literal veteran of the company. Didn't know who were walking out of the women's rumble when he was watching it. People filmed him being confused by the themes. Like, you're telling me one of the guys who is in that main locker room day in, day out, 7 days a fucking week, don't know themes. Says enough.
Are you a Seth
He is a super guy.
Clive looks so disappointed.
He's disappointed by the Def Rebel theme songs. Like, come on, man. Even Clive can't tell you who it is. Like,
hey, Clive, whose theme that is? I thought
the name of the tag team was New Cat Republic. I'm disappointed.
No, that's Mia and Clive's tag team name.
Right, shall we move on to the next part, which was the Grayson Waller effect? I think there's a few things to unravel from this because a lot of people were like, "This is pointless," but I could see where they were trying to go with it. Like, I feel like we're definitely gonna get Theory versus Grayson Waller out of this. I feel like we're definitely gonna get Cody versus The Rock from this, and I really think Seth isn't set there to stay with Cody.
No. You know how we talk about Dakota Kai being a menacing heel?
Yeah.
Have we not remembered that our boy Seth Rollins shares the exact same characteristics?
Yeah. He gonna grab that chair. He gonna hit Cody in the back at Mania.
Because we're coming up to the 10-year anniversary of the Shield betrayal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be Cody's Shield.
He going to do what he did to the Shield.
Just because of what happens here. My prediction, I've got literally nothing to say about this, like this show thing at all. But like the one thing that I've got coming out of it is like Cody challenged The Rock. Okay, any place, anytime, right? So this is how I would do it if they're going to do it, and I think it'd make sense. So tag team match on night one, Cody, Seth, Rock, Reigns, right?
Yeah.
Cody, Seth win. Okay, Cody, Seth win. You get to night two, Drew beats Seth for the world title. Seth is like downtrodden about it. He's really depressed about it, but he's in the locker room and he says to Cody, I said I'd still be with you though, dude. I said I'd still have you back, so I'll come out with you, right?
Yep.
Gets to the match, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Seth is taking out everyone at ringside. It's all going really well. Cody's about to win the match, but Seth just cannot take it. Like his jealousy takes over. He can't see Cody win the title and he's not got it anymore. It should have been him. It should have been Seth Rollins versus Cody. He wanted that to happen. He wanted to be the main event of WrestleMania, and he's coming out of WrestleMania with nothing. And I think that's how you should do it. I think that should be the character heel.
I like that.
Especially, I liked your wording there of "I'll have you back." Hit him in the back. Just hit Cody in the back.
I like that.
Yeah. when it comes to the Grayson Waller effect segment, I definitely think like a lot of people's expectations were set really high for this. I think people were like, The Rock's coming, Roman's coming, Bloodline's coming, and for good reason, because it looked like that was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Personally, I think the only great thing that happened in this segment was Grayson Waller doing a shoey with Tai Tuivasa, who is a UFC fighter from Australia. That was the only thing I enjoyed about this. Because the thing is, Chris didn't know what was happening, and then he looked at me and he's like, why is Grayson Waller doing a shoey with Tai Tuivasa? And I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
But I do like the fact of we now have the planted seed of Waller was pissed at Fury, and I'm excited to kind of see that happen. I hope Waller comes out on top because I think he needs it more than Austin. Austin is kind of like a star in the making. Like, he doesn't need Waller. Waller needs that win more to legitimize him as not Austin's lackey anymore. Because I feel like that sadly is what kind of happened with Grayson Waller the past couple of months.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with. I don't like. I think his character in NXT really showed he can stand out above the rest and on his own. He's an incredible talent.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like Grayson Waller, but I do. I think he's great.
I think he's sick.
This is a difficult situation for Austin Theory, though, because the whole tag team with Grayson Waller kind of saved him from obscurity because people were getting sick of him. But what happens when Austin loses? Like, what
he reforms the way.
Yeah, but that would mean
town down under.
So you would transfer him to Raw, right?
Yeah. I think what would be interesting is he's down on his luck. He's out. He can't really find any footing on SmackDown. You make him lose a couple more, and he starts appearing Raw backstage, talking to Pierce, being like, "Can we do like a transfer? Can we talk? Like, I need something sorted.
Like, I just need a fresh start, kind of thing."
Yeah, I need a fresh start. And then he goes and starts talking to Johnny, tries to clear the air. But he's like, "I'm sorry, I was an asshole. I'm sorry, I've done this, this, and this." And Johnny Gargano starts believing him, and then Candice like kind of steps in, being like, "Whoa, not so fast." And then Candice starts helping, and then we reform the way.
And then we find Dexter Loomis or wherever they.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, where is Dexter?
He's been filming a TV series, and he also had an undisclosed injury, so he's been away for quite some time.
I miss Dex.
Me too.
I miss Dexter
Needing
too.
Dex back in my life.
Yeah, I miss
The only
him.
index I have is at the back of a book.
What book would that be? What story would that be from?
It's from this story. I'm not too sure if you guys are familiar with it, but Cody Rhodes.
It hasn't
He hasn't
finished yet.
that story yet. Yeah.
It's strange how Cody Rhodes' story ends with Index. How odd.
Yeah, well, there's no
It's
finish
also-
to the story, so.
It's also the same as like that Game of Thrones book, you know. It's meant to be finishing the story, but it's never came out yet.
I would absolutely laugh if Dexter was the cost of Cody finishing his story now.
Dexter's the final boss.
Dexter Loomis joins the bloodline.
Triple
He comes
H,
back
if you
with
watch
red hair
it, we
instead
take
of blonde.
credit.
Yeah, we do. We take credit. We take credit for everything, even when it's not our idea.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
Shall we jump on to the men's elimination chamber match, which was
God, yes,
Drew
please.
I had one last thing to. I did have one last thing to add for the Grayson Waller.
Yes.
Obviously, Seth was inserted in this because original plans completely flew out the window. The original plans would have actually been incredible, and I genuinely think Courtney would have probably had the best time because the original plan was to have Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title at Perth.
I did get to see him do a wee little stompy stomp.
Yeah, he still did his stomp, but we were going to have Bronson
stomp.
Reed versus Seth.
Bronson
No,
just
that'd be
had
cool.
a baby.
Yeah, no.
Congratulations.
Bronson's
the
had
pla-
a baby. That's impressive.
Yeah, I know, right. Wow, that's crazy. But no, so the plan was that was going to happen until Seth's injury happened. Then Bronson was going to be inserted into the chamber, but then Bronson said to Triple
That's really
H,
clear though.
it's best for me not to because obviously my partner's about to have the kid early. So
Yeah.
Jesus, I've just thought of something insane.
What?
Yeah, go
What?
for it.
I just thought about the implications of like Bronson Reed's just had a baby. Obviously, but what that implies. Can you imagine with Bronson Reed? That's terrifying. That guy's huge. That guy's enormous. What the hell? Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
You've been sitting in the corner or something because you sound like you've got first-hand experience there.
No, it's more. It's more. As soon as he was doing that, it's more. As soon as he was doing that, my mind just went to Michael Cole shouting, "Here comes the finisher, the tsunami!"
Tsunami!
Anyway, yeah. Go to the men's chamber very quickly. I just wanted to say, like, big shout out to Bronson, congrats, and it sucked you didn't get to do. Hopefully, they come back to Perth so you can.
You're right, Mr. Wagtail.
Get your situation, the story, you know.
Can't believe you've done this.
Right, so men's elimination chamber: Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Logan Paul, and Bobby Lashley. I'm gonna keep this real short and real sweet. Stoked that AJ came. Hey! I did tell you guys after the podcast that I didn't disclose this whilst I was on pod because I didn't want to potentially interrupt plans. But it was heavily speculated earlier in the week when I was in Perth that AJ Styles had been found in Perth.
Yeah.
People tried to get pictures with him. He said he can't take photos. He's not allowed to. I got video footage of when AJ came out and started attacking LA Knight. So that looks like that's how it's going to go for Wrestlemania this year. Yeah, well, I like how we've got the Randy Orton, Logan Paul setup. That was something that I didn't know that I needed. But now that I know we could be getting it, I'm very excited by it. A lot of people are upset by the fact that it looks like Randy Orton's going to be going for a mid-card title. But I personally think they should just do a ladder match for the US title at Mania.
I said this. I literally said this.
Because you quite literally could have everybody else who was in the chamber match too, and it would make so much sense.
I said, or I said, do a fatal four-way match between like Randy, LA Knight.
It gives them something
Paul,
to do going
Kevin
into
Owens.
Super happy that Drew won. I liked how Logan Paul knocked out Randy, which then obviously Drew took advantage of, because that very much leads into what we've been saying about Drew now taking advantage of other people's help when it comes to these situations. Yeah. I enjoyed the match. I think the women's chamber match was better, but that's not to discredit the men, because I do think they obviously had the expectations of how great that women's match was, and they felt like they had to meet those expectations and surpass them, you know? So
I was point out something, and I completely agree with what you just said there, Cole. But I just want to point out something. What happened on Raw? Michael Cole once again is saying what Drew McIntyre did in the chamber was totally hypocritical, and I was sat there like, what do you want him to do?
Yeah.
Like, what exactly do you want him to do? Do you want him to sit there and wait for Randy Orton to recover for 10 minutes? Like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
no.
Hypocritical. Yeah. He didn't hit him with the brass nuts.
I mean, we were sat there on live. You know when Logan got eliminated, we were sat there for ages going, "Who's coming? The door's still open. Logan hasn't exited. Who's coming? Why is it still open? Why is Logan still there?" And then Logan gets up and punches Randy.
I loved it. I thought it was funny. I actually
there's actually new footage that's came out from the ref side, like, point of view, speaking to Logan, and Logan's like, "I can't move, man. I really think I'm fucked my back. I can't move. I can't move." Like, bro, you gotta get medics. I don't know
if anybody saw the footage of Logan Paul drawing Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that next. Yeah,
I didn't see it when I was watching it, but I saw it back on TikTok, and I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
I also loved these two incredible spots that involved the actual chamber pods where Kevin Owens went fully through it. That was slightly fucking scary because it landed on his neck, but he sold it so well. And also the Bobby Lashley one where he just went, "Right, we're going straight through this pod. Forget everything else." That was absolutely mental. He just went through it. I was like, "Yeah,
that guy is a
cool as hell."
Kevin Owens doing his best Goldberg impression, by the way, headbutting the.
Yeah. I also loved the blunt force trauma into the RKO where they both just looked at each other as they both hit those moves on everyone else, and then stared each other down. I was like, "Yeah, that's the one. It's
like real recognizing real. It's like
literally, it was so cool." And I think the men's chamber had great spots.
What I do like about this match is it's kind of sent everyone into the trajectory. Wow, that word was hard. Trajectory of where they should have been going into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
because you've got Bobby Lashley, who is probably going to be having that 6-man with the Final Testament. You have got like you say, like having a fatal 4-way with Randy, Kevin Owens, LA Knight, and Logan Paul. And we all know where Drew McIntyre is going. So like I think everyone had their place. Logan, me was like a pleasant surprise in this match. I thought he did quite well. Like fair play to him. I thought it was very funny. Like when his pod finally opened, like he just got grabbed immediately and just sent flying into everything. I thought that was great.
What?
I did love that he tried to hold the door as well. He was like, "No, I'm not ready for this. I don't want this."
He's funny. He's very comedic as well as being a really. Yeah. He has really proven himself since WrestleMania last year.
He just gets it. He just gets the business. Like you can't say anything else about it. He just gets it.
What Courtney? What was like Logan's entrance reaction like?
I got booed out of the building.
Did it?
Wow. He got heavily booed during the entire thing, even during the press conference as well. He got heavily booed.
Did you see what happened on the Raw before, like the Chamber, where someone asked him to sign a Prime ball and he just stuck his gum on top of it?
Oh, yeah, he started doing that now. I'm like, why?
He's like, he needs a place for his chewing gum to go.
It's anyway.
I tell you what, you could sell that shit. You could sell it for a lot of money.
Any way for him to get Prime on TV because it's advertising, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
It was just like, ew.
I remember I said something last week about how, especially on the road to WrestleMania, Royal Rumble is a fantastic way to really create and start feuds and rivalries going into WrestleMania. And I said the exact same thing for Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber is a really great vehicle to actually get storylines started into WrestleMania, because you sometimes don't want storylines to have a super long build to them like Rumble to Mania. Sometimes storylines can really benefit from having a bit of a shorter build. And I definitely think we have seen what is going to be happening within the men's division going into Mania. Initially, we thought it was going to be Logan and LA Knight, but now it looks like Randy's going to be in there somehow. So it's super cool to see that they've actually got that ready to go, and we can start to see where everyone is going to be going into Mania. And same with the women as well too. I definitely think Chamber has not only become, all right, let's put on a really good match, but it's also let's tell some really good stories and help the fans figure out where we're going to be looking at WrestleMania when it comes to certain participants within those matches.
And to your point as well, like
100%.
Just to expand on that as well, about like it being good to create new rivalries. Like it's just that the reason for that is because like the Chamber like just opens the door, no pun intended, for like so much chaos.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
like so many people interact with each other, and like you could just make it possible for anyone to all of a sudden start feuding each other. Like I never thought in a million years would be like Randy Orton and Logan Paul would be the rivalry coming out of this.
Yeah,
so random, unbelievably random, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, we thought it would be Logan and LA Knight, didn't we? But I definitely think that's going in a different direction now. But out of Rumble and Elimination Chamber, I definitely think there's about 8 or 9 matches that are like confirmed for WrestleMania now.
Or that we could see coming. So
100%.
So we've got Roman Cody, Seth and Drew, Bailey and Io,
Rhea
Becky, and then we'll definitely have some sort of Randy Logan, some sort of AJ LA Knight, and then there'll be a couple of tag matches as well. So there's definitely some stuff going on.
It's looking pretty good.
I think we could have like a 6-pack challenge for the US title, like, and the people who would have in there would be, and like the same people who would have for like in a ladder match for the US title. So I would have Logan, obviously, Randy, LA Knight, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Randy.
And one other person.
Did I say Randy?
You did say Randy.
You did say Randy.
So you've only said 5 because you included everybody from the Chamber except for Bobby and Drew.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I would have Logan, LA Knight, AJ Styles. Yeah, I've got it. Okay, guys, I've got it.
Okay, I'm trying to count for you.
Yeah, Kevin Owens, who is who the hell else was there? I literally had it in my head.
So, okay, Logan, AJ, LA Knight, Randy, Kevin Owens, and you need one more.
One more person.
Cameron Grimes.
Oh yeah, okay, screw it. Yeah, get Cameron Grimes.
Maybe Bronson Reed.
Maybe Bronson if he changed brands. I don't know. Maybe Carmelo Hayes. He's coming up to the main roster at some point.
Or
wait. Braun Breaker,
Braun.
Braun Breaker as well. Yeah, like I'd have a 6-pack challenge or a ladder match.
Make it spear someone fall off the ladder.
Oh yes, daddy.
What were you saying, Jay? You said
Wasn't Braun Breaker doing stuff with Baron Corbin on NXT?
He still is. They're NXT
I
tag
was gonna
champs.
say, wasn't they like champs or something?
No, they still are.
He'd be pulling double duty.
So with his move to the main roster, do you think they will lose them tag champs?
Yeah.
Sooner rather than later, because they're
going to lose it to the OC in the Good Brothers.
Yeah, they'll probably lose it at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
so.
any final thoughts on the men's elimination chamber before we move into the last match?
Yeah, right person won. Great performance from all of the people. Disappointed that Bobby Lashley got eliminated first, but I can understand why.
Yeah.
To do it Mania.
Same goes for the men's. What I said about the women's, there were 6 phenomenal men. Any one of them to go out first, you wouldn't want any of them.
Regardless.
My final thoughts on it, like just because I don't think I've talked about him enough in this match. Like I was just watching Bobby, and I was like, I know it's not the time or the place, but God, I'd love to see Bobby with the world title again.
Same. I like honestly, since the work with like the Street Profits and everything, you could tell the spark in Bobby Lashley being that main roster guy and being that like high up like main event talent is back, and he's really showing it.
And he can still go. He's fantastic.
100%. I love Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, but that's my final thought.
He is huge in person, like fucking massive.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I was like, I had to look up at him, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Wild. He's not only tall, but he's also like wide as well.
Yeah, he big boy. He big boy.
Big boy.
He's the big boy.
He could be one of the big strong boys.
He is the almighty.
Anyway, let's get in this final match then. Come on, let's talk. It's time for the main event. Let's get ready to rumble.
The final match of the evening was, of course, Rhea Ripley, our Women's World Heavyweight Champion, versus Nia Jax. Rhea won. Rhea's going to Mania. Obviously, we know that anyway. To face Becky Lynch. Thoughts?
Loved it.
Dave Meltzer can stop being a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Hey, he's my joke.
Oh no, I agreed with you 100%. Like honestly, so basically, Dave Meltzer came out of nowhere and said, "Oh, the main event sucked. It really stunk out Elimination Chamber because did you watch Nia? She basically botched this, botched that." And I'm like,
does he have any wrestling experience though?
He's watched it for like 50 plus years.
No, but has he actually stepped in the ring and done it?
I don't know, actually, to be fair.
I think
but like,
Meltzer driver.
No, they've changed it to the Tony Khan driver.
Oh.
Amazing.
Either way,
back onto your point.
Yeah, back on track. Basically, I think it's really stupid. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not the biggest Nia Jax advocate. It's been known. I've openly stated Nia Jax is one of my most hated wrestlers because of things in the past. Yeah. But I won't sit here and bash her and not give her flowers on how much she has improved. Weight loss journey, getting back in the ring, not being scared to go on the top rope anymore, actually being better on the mic, slightly safer work ethic as well, because she's not really injured people. When she said she injured people, she didn't. It was to play into the storyline of people being pissy fans in the past. And it makes sense. Yeah. It worked. But to have Dave Meltzer turn around and say, Nia's never going to main event again in a crowd that big again. What the fuck? Like, she's been a champion before. She's main evented bigger crowds. Like, is he dumb?
First, yeah, he is dumb first and foremost, because with, like I said in my Stitch video that I just posted, so if you guys haven't gone and watched it, please go and do that, because I roast the shit out of that guy. But anyway,
I'll have a look after.
He's full confidence. Oh, she'll never main event in front of 45,000 people again. Well, if you had done a quick Twitter search or actually watched the premium live event, you will know that it was not 45,000, it was 52,000. So that just goes ahead and proves that you don't know a fucking statistic when you see it, because he got it wrong. Again, it's like when he came out and said, oh, Elimination Chambers only sold 11,000 seats. Actually, we'd sold over 40,000. So first of all, you can't even get your information correct before you come and try and come for somebody. And secondly, you're acting as though you've ever wrestled or laced up a boots a day in your life ever again. Live television, regardless of if it is wrestling or not, there can be moments where things do not go to plan, and that is where you improvise. It is not up to you to point out every single move within that match and say, oh, that was botched, that was botched, that was botched. Do you even know how to throw someone through a table? It just aggravates me so much that people still listen to people like Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer when now, more than ever, they're showing their true colors because they're continually proving that they cannot get information correct. Why are we still listening to the dinosaurs like that? Like, it's actually ridiculous. They've been extinct for hundreds of years. Why is Dave Meltzer still around? Like, it actually pisses me off. I'm not lying to you. Like, Dave Meltzer has lost so much of his credibility. And the thing is, him and Brian Alvarez are always people that say, yeah, we want to see the women's division do better. All right, why are you tearing down two women who have just gone over to Perth and main evented a show in front of 50,000 people? You know how I talked earlier about having to redirect people's perspective and focus on the positives? That's what we should be focusing on. Two women, the top of their industry, main eventing a premium live event. Moves continually being botched. She's worked so incredibly hard, and I've given her a second chance on the main roster because guess what? Came in, her character's changed, her promos have changed, her in-ring work is different. She's showing us she actually wants to improve and learn, and that should be focused on what she did in the past, or if you think one of her moves were botched. See? StreamYard agrees with me. Just get rid of it. And then I ran over. I'm sick of him.
I never thought I'd be here a couple of years ago defending Nia Jax. Like, I was in the same place that Ross was, honestly. But what I will say is, like, yeah, okay, maybe some moves were bots. I don't care because this was Nia Jax's best match in her career, and I mean I feel like I've been on the Nia Jax train the longest in this podcast ever since she came back from the week that she from the week that she came back. I was saying I'm really enjoying her work, and I thought the match that they had with Raquel on the main roster, like on Raw, when she first came back, was great. She was a part of that. She was part of that Crown Jewel match, I believe. That was dope. I do want to point out the fact that she's improved on the microphone, in my opinion, immensely. I think she's a lot more smoother in the ring. She's lost a lot of weight, fair play to her, and you can say that their training is paying off. But what I will say is, give the girl a break, man. This is the first match, singles one-on-one stadium match that she's had since she's come back. And the first one that she's had since Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania about 5 years ago. Yeah. So how about you give her a break, dude? Maybe she was nervous. Maybe she was nervous. Did you ever think about the fact that she was like just a bit intimidated by that? Like I'm not being funny. Like, I think she did fantastic. And for you to turn around and say, "Oh, she's never gonna get that ever again." Yeah, dude, she was in a main event match on Raw the next night. So what the fuck are you even talking about?
I love it how he acts as though he is actually working for WWE as well. Like, he knows the ins and outs of everything. Like, Triple H is his homeboy. Like, I'm sorry, Triple H is my homeboy because I've got ink on my arm to solidify that friendship. Where's your tattoo, Dave?
It just frustrates me because she clearly is part of like the main event scene in the women's division now, because she's still calling out Becky Lynch. She had that match with Liv Morgan, which was brilliant and so cathartic to watch Liv Morgan get thrown about. I loved it. It was amazing. Please do it again, Nia. You're the new mammy. I just really do think she deserves the flowers. Like, she's done like bad things in the past. She isn't exactly like maybe the nicest person to read her Twitter feed, but do you know what? When it comes to inside that ring, and it comes to character work, and it comes to my interest in WWE at the moment, she's at the top of the list. I really genuinely enjoy Nia Jax, like in the women's division at the moment, and she's one of my favorite parts of Monday Night Raw. She really is. Whenever Nia Jax comes out and has a match, I put my phone down, and because I want to see the progress. I want to see.
5 degrees.
Well, good. I'm glad he does, because that means he's a great fan of the women's division. But again, what I'm saying about Nia Jax is, she's one of the people in that women's division at the moment that grabs your attention, like good or bad. Like, any reaction is a good reaction in wrestling.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah, absolutely.
It's not go away heat. It's you're a bitch heat, but that's cool because that's her character. Like, her character is literally like I would compare it to Rich Holland, I suppose. Like that, what they are trying to do, what they are trying to do with Rich Holland at the moment, capitalizing on real life things. Nia Jax is already doing 10 times better on the main roster. Like
exactly.
So with Nia Jax for me, she can keep on improving. Well done. My hat's off to you. Like I say, I've been here since day one, since she came back, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be happening in 2024 for her.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I fell off Nia Jax when she did all that stuff to CJ Perry, Lana. That really, really hurt my soul because
putting her through a table every week.
Fantastic.
It was horrible, and that's when I stopped liking Nia Jax, and then she went, and I was happy, and she came back, and I was like, oh, this again, really? But no, she really has proved herself, and I'm really enjoying watching her more so now than ever.
Yeah, and I actually think she's having much more fun now, more than ever on the main roster too. You can see it, and as Reese said, wrestlers do not care if you love them or if you hate them, but if you give them some form of response and some form of reaction and they get something from you, that speaks volumes. And I personally think we are seeing that from Nia Jax. And it just bugs me that two grown-ass men who act like they know exactly what they're talking about or they've ever wrestled a day in their lives ever are doing this to her when she's making so much money from this company that their opinions are completely irrelevant. Like, why would she listen to two grown-ass men on the internet when she's making hundreds of thousands of dollars from this company, being told she's doing a fantastic job, getting put in prominent spots, being shown on TV, is able to hone her craft? Why would she listen to those two dinos over there? Oh, T-Rex and Stegosaurus over there. Like, why? Like, why?
I'll say this as well. Like, I feel like she's really found a level in terms of being in that ring as well. Like she always felt a bit clumsy in that ring, but for me, she's come back like she looks a lot better, with the weight loss and stuff like that. Exactly, and that
she knows how to use her body as well.
Exactly, and she knows she's very capable, like with the power.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that she has got like this level of power mixed with intimidation is great because I mean, I know obviously it's kayfabe, it's storytelling, but when Rhea beat her, I was like, yeah, you beat her, but Rhea actually got lucky. That's how I looked at it. I was like, Rhea got lucky. Like next match, maybe one-on-one with Rhea, maybe she won't be as lucky. Like, you never know. Like,
and that's the thing is Nia's come in and she's such a menacing heel that nobody on the main roster can beat her, so that when someone does, it not only solidifies how great Nia is because she's gone through the entire division for this person to then challenge her and beat her, but it also does great things for the person who's challenged her, because then it's like, holy crap, you can beat her. And one other thing I will say, and I'm going to leave it on this when it comes to Nia's performance within the ring, is there's nothing greater than seeing somebody who's in the ring and they are 100% honest and saying, look, I may not be an in-ring technician like a Charlotte Flair, I may not have the mic skills like this or whatever, but I'm going to take what I've got, which is my power, my strength, and my intimidation, and I'm going to use it in the best way that I can. There's nothing better than seeing somebody who knows their abilities and works with them instead of trying to pretend like they can do everything. I would rather see someone work with a limited moveset but make me feel something than try and be a technician in the ring and then just completely not be able to do that. If you guys are catching what I'm saying, there's nothing better than a self-aware person, and I think she's self-aware with what she can bring to the table in terms of her in-ring work. And I will say Mami did fantastic in that match, and I did cry and I did scream, and I do love Mami.
Oh, legit, Rhea had no faults. Like, Rhea had no faults in that match. She didn't miss a beat. Nope. She was literally perfect, start to finish. That crowd was electric for her. I loved the gear of the jacket having the specific Australian flag. I loved the stars on it, because if you don't know, those are more of like the metal styled stars, like the painting style of it. It's very close to like Bring Me the Horizon
of the guy
styles.
Who makes her vests?
Yeah,
on TikTok?
Yeah. He's actually from the UK. Funny enough.
Yeah, I was going to show you guys if you haven't seen that. But it's really good.
I kind of want one.
You should have told me. I would have bought you one of her vests at the superstore.
Has anybody got any final thoughts on Elimination
Chamber? My only final thoughts is, like I say, shout out to Nia Jax. I think she did great. Shout out to the tag team match. It was my match of the night. Both Elimination Chambers matches delivered in different ways for me, and it looks like we've got a new women's star on the horizon in Tiffany Stratton. But they're my final thoughts.
Absolutely.
Agree.
Mine is just like shout out to the Perth crowd. Like you guys lived up to quite a lot of the hype. You were close to the UK style of fans, so it made me
Watch
happy
out,
to
the
see
UK
that.
are coming to beat you for the next one.
If the stadium was closed, you could have easily made comparisons in terms of the sound. But hey, packing 52,000 people into a stadium to watch wrestling is what we should be focusing on. That is the most important thing. Yeah, it was great. Great experience.
It shows that there's a market in that side of the hemisphere as well. So
I'll drop as much money as I need to go and see it. That's all I'll say.
And also, the road to WrestleMania is now upon us, especially with free agents as well. There is new storylines already happening.
Dakota Kai is apparently cleared for Friday.
Yeah, should be wrestling tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dakota
nice.
Kai
So we're getting Dakota Kai
tomorrow
versus The Rock. I'm loving it.
We already have a huge name back in WWE as well, which is incredible to see.
Shawn
Spears, the chairman himself, baby.
The Mr. Chairman.
I was going to make a video on this on TikTok, but I haven't got around to doing it yet. I need to do it because I'm hoping that Shawn Spears coming back means another couple of fabulous ladies will appear a little bit sooner down the line once they've had
I literally, as soon as I saw him return, I honestly thought to myself, I bet you G is hyping herself up for an Iconics return.
What did you see?
I'm not even lying.
Did you see what Peyton Royce?
Yeah, Peyton Royce hyped the crap out of it.
Yeah, he was like, he tweeted "home where he belongs" or something like that,
Yeah,
and I was
lovely.
like, "Stop!" Because as soon as you've had that baby and you're better, I need you here now.
I need you to go up against Nia Jax.
And also now there is the other free agents that have been speculated, which is going to be some very interesting storylines if those happen. Is
that the GOD?
Julia, and then Tama Tonga as well, Mr. GOD himself.
Yeah,
very, very interesting with WrestleMania around the corner,
dude. If Tama Tonga shows up, that'd be a different level.
I said Tama Tonga. I think the best place Tama Tonga turns up is the NXT pay-per-view before WrestleMania. Good Brothers win the NXT tag belt. Tama Tonga comes out to join them and then makes a declaration to the NXT champ.
I was just
stand and deliver.
Yeah.
Some of these like free agents that we're seeing flying around, if they were to sign to WWE, some of the best time to bring them in is when we see new champions face off. Future storylines.
Yeah, I'm really hyped for the Raw after WrestleMania this year because now that we know that Triple H truly be fully in charge of creative, I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be must watch.
Any other final thoughts, guys?
I'm good. Reese, when you're ready, you can wrap up if everybody
Can
else.
we do the outro? Oh, wow. That's a lovely birthday present to give me, guys. Well, it's been an absolutely fantastic recap on Elimination Chamber. It's been really cool on the 29th of February, only coming once every 4 years. But don't worry, we will be back next Thursday for another episode, so you won't have to wait that long. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed everything that we've said today. Make sure you go and follow us on TikTok and other social media such as X and Instagram. We just hit over 500 followers on TikTok, so thank you very much for that. We should be seeing more content. Hell yeah, we should be seeing more content on there very, very soon. But for now, guys, make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you check out Courtney's review of Raw from Monday. Make sure you check out my review of NXT from yesterday. And make sure you stay tuned for the SmackDown review coming on Saturday morning. But for now, guys, take care. Have a great week. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Deuces.